What is going on, folks? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Running Gun Podcast. I know it's just me for now, but Ace will be along here in a few minutes. All good, no worries. We got a great show for y'all tonight lined up. As you know, we're going to talk about FAMU slowly moving towards game prep, as well too. Dion made a key hire to his coaching staff. And then as well too, we got what is the NFL going to do with Deshaun Watson? Because now it looks like they're moving a little bit more towards suspending him for the season. We're also going to keep you up to date on what we're going to do with our fantasy draft and for fantasy football because, Penalty Talk, we got a little thing going ourselves where we're inviting all of you. All of you are welcome. And then even too for the college football section of the show, we're going to talk about the playoff locations for 2025 and 2026. All the fun stuff tonight, all the good stuff as always. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff tonight. Usually, this is the part where Ace kind of chimes in and gives his piece and everything. But I guess I'll just keep on going. As well, too, as y'all know, next Saturday, FAMU, North Carolina. Game starts at 8. I'll be live at 7, giving y'all my key 30 minutes and everything to get y'all ready for kickoff and everything like that. As well, too, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment whenever, whatever the topic may be, because we do enjoy interaction here. And then as well too, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. As I already said, be sure to leave a comment and everything. The intro is next here in about 15 seconds, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're going to kick things off with HBCU ball. It's going to be another fun one tonight. A lot of detail, maybe some sound effects. I can't promise anything. But anyway, here we go. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JPeeps.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
Where'd he go? Oh man, he was just here. I thought I added him, and then he left. All right. Well, anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So what we've got is I see if he already texted me. No, he did not. So he'll be on in a few seconds. But let's go ahead and get started with it. So one thing I took away from the scrimmage and the interviews and stuff is the fact that I think we all noticed it now too because it is time because next week is really officially game week. Coach Simmons already stated, this team's going to start moving towards. Oh, there he is. Looks like he just woke up from a nap. He can't hear me right now, but I'll keep going. But yeah, Coach Simmons basically said North Carolina is the main focus right now because we are basically, what the hell with it. This is game week essentially, and that's where the focus is right now. So this team's already in preparation for North Carolina. And that makes sense. I wouldn't get too far ahead of myself and worry about Jackson State just yet. Worry about North Carolina. Look at what you need to add and what you need to take out. Look at this is a good chance to evaluate guys to see who can do what early on and get a good idea of what you're going to do going forward throughout the season and so on and so forth. And then also too, there was a thing that came out earlier this week. I don't know if Ace froze or if he's just like, okay, yeah, he froze. But also too, there was another thing that came out earlier or yesterday as far as the price of season tickets as far as HBCUs go. And this was a discussion that was, his computer crashed. So he might be on a little bit later. But yeah, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. But as I was saying, yeah, so the price of season tickets at HBCUs, should that go up? Honestly, look, I say this: you got to spend money to make money. And that's how a lot of these programs, these Power Five programs, have built their schools up, is spending the money to make the money, honestly. And so I would say, you know what? Yeah, it's not a bad idea to kind of invest and do what you have to do to get to where you want to go. Because as I stated earlier, it's, if I could find it, as I stated earlier in the week, Willie Simmons is right about saying, if an 80 raises prices $5, we have an issue because, we've gone from 170 or no, from 150 to 170. I specifically said it like this: you're going to pay $530 for a cheap seat at the University of Florida for season tickets. You're going to pay $225 if you're a recent graduate for the same season ticket in a different section of the stadium. And if you're for Florida State fans, just to put things into perspective, you're going to pay $330 minimum for a season ticket. Don't even get me started on the NFL and what I normally pay. So, yes, we can manage to raise the season ticket price a few dollars. Things like that can go a long way to, just adding simple athletic facilities like a training table, like renovating a field house or tearing down a field house and building a whole new one, or even, getting all athletes only dorms, or getting putting dining halls and lecture halls in a certain facility and things like that. Well, we got 2 comments. Oh, it's Ace. Computer had full crash. Be on in a minute. All right, well, he'll be here. So in the meantime, the show will go on. But yeah, it's things like that you can afford to increase the season ticket price. And I think it is beyond time because, look, those are bus tokens compared to, what a lot of teams are spending or a lot of fans are spending for other things. Because I think for the longest, I can honestly tell you, like, prices to get into an HBCU game have been very, steady for over 20 years now. But I will say what I do like about the Orange Blossom Classic is the ticket prices for the Orange Blossom Classic have, kind of, they're not what the other games are in a sense, if that makes sense. So I like what I'm seeing. The other thing too is, hold on, wait a minute. Keep getting updates from Ace. Okay, no, he'll be on in a minute. No worries. But the other thing that I'm seeing too is this whole thing with Mike Zimmer, coming to Jackson State and joining Deion Sanders. I think it was a good move by Deion. I think it was. He's Deion's former position coach and everything for the Dallas Cowboys. He's honestly just going to be there in like a football analyst type of setting and everything, but it was a huge move. Honestly, I liked it. I think it's going to be very beneficial. I think it's helpful as far as helping more guys get from the HBCU ranks to the NFL, because now you have an NFL head coach with that type of experience coming in to help out. And then he just disappeared again. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Y'all can't see that, but on my end, I could see things. But how beneficial was it for Deion to add Zimmer? I think it was very beneficial. I think it was really beneficial, honestly. And I'm curious to see how this transitions into the regular season. One other thing, key games for week 1 and week 0. And this is something that I've been meaning to hit on for a while that I could not hit on, quite honestly. And to be honest, of course, I think as far as week 0 goes, you got to point to that MEAC Challenge kickoff in Atlanta between Howard and Alabama State, which I feel like nobody's really talking about enough, because I think that is a very big deal as far as MEAC and SWAC supremacy. Right now, honestly, I like Howard. And I like Howard based off the fact that, the MEAC has been stronger in this game. And quite honestly, every time that we seem to want to boast the SWAC in this game, the MEAC tends to be better. So I got to give the edge to to Howard, honestly, in this one. And then of course FAMU and North Carolina. For this one, I'm just looking for, because I honestly I've already predicted North Carolina to win this game, as you may have seen in the preseason breakdown. I'm looking for little things, honestly, in this game. Like who's good for what roles, what's the depth like on this team, things like that. Honestly, who can stand out, and who can prove that they can play on the field with a Power Five team, which will benefit them as far as going forward to get drafted. So honestly, I say like make your money, man. Go out there and make your money week 1 or week 0, and then set the tone for the rest of the season. Quite honestly, so and to me, this is really no better than a preseason game for FAMU, honestly. But definitely, those are the two big games to look out for. Week 1 or week 0. My fault. Week 0. Let me get that politically correct. And I think we may have the man of the hour. Do we have the man of the hour?
And can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh my gosh, look who it is.
Yes. FYI, do not leave your laptop to not update, because it will crash and give you hell.
Wow. So what do you have for? Actually, we can react to the preseason breakdown here in the last minute of this quarter. So I don't know if you watched it or not, but go ahead and you give me your 2 cents.
I do not have the script, so you need to send me that.
I emailed that to you yesterday.
No, you probably emailed it to the wrong person.
No, I definitely sent that to you.
I have only the link.
Wow. All right. Well, we're on the family preseason. We're on the family preseason breakdown. We're recapping that and everything. I predicted FAMU would go 12-1. What say you?
Well, if you want to know something, when you type in FAMU preseason, we're the first thing that shows up on Google.
Really?
I'm serious. Your 2022 FAMU preseason breakdown is the first thing that shows up on Google.
That's actually pretty crazy. Hold up, wait.
That is actually really cool.
Give your reply to give. I mean, I know you probably saw it, so give your take of it while I actually look this up.
All right. Well, I need to actually find it. I mean, it's preseason. I really don't like preseason for any sport, but
dude, crazy.
Well, for all right. This thing. So it's mostly seeing who's gonna show up. First set of actual competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like how Allison said, between Musa really is the guy you gotta keep your main eyes on, and then you have the defense. Who's going to be the guy showing up on that side, so you don't have to worry too much because they won't play in preseason too much. You know what I mean? And so I'm sorry, I've had a rough week this week. As you can tell, I'm in Trinidad again, and my grandmother died, so we're just winging this as we go.
Dude, why are you on here right now then?
I got nothing better to do. I don't want to do it to people downstairs.
Oh my! Well, you know what? We grieve with Ace.
So it goes on. I'm not leaving you alone. I'm not that crappy.
We grieve with Ace, but we will keep the show rolling. We'll let this be his breakaway from. He'll find some joy here. But we can go ahead and transition on to the NFL now. So, a couple things happened. Roquan Smith basically came out and said, the way that his deal was proposed by the Chicago Bears, it was a very disrespectful deal to the linebacker market. And so he said that's one reason why he wants out of Chicago.
I do agree. That is definitely the reason why he wants out of Chicago. And it is the reason why, because I know if they were going to do a backloaded contract with severely under market for his position, I want to say it's under 15 mil they was offering him. I am not entirely sure on that, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was under 15 million. he'd be significantly underpaid. And if I'm him, I do what he's doing right now. I have no faults with him for doing what he's doing.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
minute. They offered him
Wait a minute. What?
15 million?
A year.
That's not good enough. I know it's a crap load of money to you and me, but for like,
that's what I'm saying. For his position, he's getting undervalued. And at your point of what you're playing at, you should be getting top dollar because you're an all-pro linebacker under 28. Those don't come around very often.
That's insane.
There we go.
That's insane. And when I say insane, I mean like that's like completely lowballing him. Like that's so disrespectful. I would leave too. I would definitely leave.
Hey, send me the script.
All right, we'll keep talking. So right now we're on Zach Wilson's knee.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jets fans. You'd hope you'd hope you get to see, especially his off season, right? We all know I'm not going to get into it too much, but you got a dog in him, and
Fact.
you kind of wanted to see it to start, getting the train fund going, and then it all blew up in back-to-back days. You got Mekhi Beckham breaking his kneecap in practice before the preseason game, out for the year, and then Zach Wilson has his knee get messed up. Thankfully, not for the entire year, just 5 weeks. But it is still a tough pill to swallow for a Jets fan. So
I can understand that. It look, I say this. Why, I know I asked the question here. Why were Watson and not Watson? Oh my gosh.
No, we don't want to talk about that guy.
Ooh, I think that's why I kind of got confused.
That's a oof one.
Here it is in more updated detail. Why were Hurts and Wilson in the game for so long? And quite honestly,
you go.
I really don't know why they were in the game for so long. I know a lot of people want to say like, "Oh, he needs the work. He needs the work." You have 3 preseason games. In the case of the fact that we only have 3 preseason games now instead of 4, the second game in that case should really be the dress rehearsal game. The third one should really be the game where the guys that are fighting for spots need to be playing. So in my perspective, him and Zach Wilson, if they are the perceived starters, because both of them took some serious licks in that game. Both of them should have been out in the first series. They should have been in.
Jalen took a bad hit after he was out of bounds.
Oh, I saw.
Game.
And neither one of them should have been in. Neither one of them should have been in the game longer than they had to be. One series, and that's it. This weekend should have been the dress rehearsal. But now Zach Wilson's going to miss snaps.
So, sometimes it's obvious why coaches aren't coaches. You know what I mean?
I know.
But these are both second-year head coaches, and Saleh and Sirianni. And whatever.
And see, I expect more from.
They haven't hit that growth period and maturity yet as a coach.
I still expect more from Robert Saleh. You got to be better.
Especially with your franchise guy, who you took with the second pick in the draft.
Exactly. And then something else happened too. I don't know if you've been keeping up with Hard Knocks training camp with the Detroit Lions, but this has been an interesting thing. The first episode they went full pads from the get-go, from day one. And I love it.
Dan Campbell. It's Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is a beast and a mindset. I don't know how you explain him, really. He goes 100% every minute.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, and the thing I think that I had the utmost respect for him with was he was doing up downs with his own defense. I love that. That's what a coach should be. A younger coach should be. I can't say all coaches, Because some coaches, if they get down like that, they may not get back up. But in his case, that's what some coaches should be, and I think that's what Detroit needs in order to light a fire and get this thing going the right direction. Because I don't know if it's for the love of the cameras or if they're really serious about it, but I feel like Detroit really wants to be good. They really want to get there and be good, and he's trying to get
the moves they're making. I don't want to cut you off, but I'm trying to add on for you. Like the moves they're making, you could see it. Like giving all those. They don't need all those extra second round picks. They went up. They knew who they wanted, and they went up and got J.Mo Williamson. Jameson Williams, not J.Mo Williamson. What the hell? You know what I mean? But they knew he's not going to be 100% day one, but they know what they're building. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got J.Mo. And they got DJ Shark they brought in. And they also got a pretty good tight end, Hawkinson. Quarterback position is the key for that team and the secondary. That are the two main things they got to fix right now. Because, they got Sewell already on the line to anchor that. So you got to focus quarterback and secondary because they got a pretty good running back too.
Yeah, no, they have a good stable of running backs. They got not Jameson Williams, but they got Jamal Williams.
And
they got DeAndre Swift. So I mean, I like their running back room. Jared Goff, I think if he can be, what year was that they went to the Super Bowl, the Rams, and lost to the Patriots? If he can be that 2018 version of himself for the Lions, I think the Lions can be like a dark horse for the playoffs.
100% agree with you. They got the beast, Aiden Hutchinson was killing it in his debut in the preseason. He was just a wrecking ball. Perfectly fits in what they're trying to do. But they're trying to build it, and Dan Campbell has that mentality of full go, and he won't take the laziness. I don't want to say laziness in Detroit, but like the
call it what it is. It's laziness.
Half-ass effort. I'm gonna say half-ass effort, but laziness too.
Look, there's multiple words you can use to describe what Detroit's been the past few years: half-ass, lazy, soft, illegitimate. What else can we use? I can't say anything too defensive because then that's cancel culture. What else? Pathetic. Yes. Trash. Garbage. Like garbage truck juice garbage. Yes, they've been that. I know this is very insulting right now, but the truth is the truth. And look, call it what it is. At the end of the day, have the Lions been a very soft team? Yes, they have. And they have been getting pushed around for the longest. It's about time somebody with some fire got in there and decided to push these guys in the right direction. And I think that's what you're seeing. Like I said, I hope it's not just for the glitz and glamour of Hard Knocks to get views up.
I think last year you're seeing the same thing as what you're seeing right now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you saw him on the sideline, the passion he has.
Yeah.
For it. And what he's doing is what I think Vrabel did with Tennessee. Like Tennessee was stuck in that cycle of mediocrity for like a decade. And then they come back with Vrabel. And they start, building that culture back.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't realize Tennessee was down for a while after like Chris Johnson and all those guys left. And when things didn't work out with Vince Young. I know you might remember that.
Well, I remember, but I'm saying Tennessee's a crap show. And then Vrabel came in. Mariota wasn't terrible for the first couple of games, and then he got hurt, and then Tannehill came in and went God tier for a couple of games, and then he somehow managed to keep the job. But that's going to change after week 10.
Oh yeah, that definitely is because Malik Willis he's going to be good. And there's also another rookie that's going to be good. And I know you may not want to hear this, but I think he's going to be the best wide receiver in this class. And I think you know who I'm talking
George Pickens. Oh, I know. I have no issues with that. Pickens. I knew Pickens was going to be good because when I did it, it was my wide receiver ranking. You can go back and check me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was because I had a feeling Olave was gonna go before the Saints picked, right? At whatever pick it was, what 16? I had a feeling, the top 4 were gonna go, and then I was like, you know what? Give me Pickens because everybody was calling me crazy for having Pickens in the first round on Twitter because of the injury he had, not showing it too much in college.
Mm.
The dude's gonna be a dog because he's gonna give you it on every play. And Pittsburgh's got the dog, and I was surprised they actually paid Deontay Johnson partially, but it's only a 2-year deal, so I don't think he'll be there very long. But it's either him or Claypool's gonna be gone.
I'd rather it be Claypool because Claypool. Let me stop.
Claypool's got some stuff that we would get ourselves in trouble saying with his mentality.
But the thing I like about George Pickens is he reminds me of Heinz Ward, and that's the last really great. Well, okay, people are gonna make an argument for Antonio Brown, but I'm just gonna leave that, let that be. But Heinz Ward, in my opinion, was the last really all-around great Steelers wide receiver because he would block, he would run good routes, he was dependable. I think that's it. Fingers crossed, if he stays healthy, that's what George Pickens is. Because George Pickens is physical. Look at where he went. He's a freak of nature when it comes to catching the ball. He runs good routes. He's dependable. Think about it.
I was going to say about the other Georges. He kind of remind me of AJ Green with run ball. You know how AJ Green used to be young before the concussions and the edge hunts from the Steelers in big games? You know what I'm talking about, AJ Green, that version?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not just because of Georgia, but like you just see him just move and do everything. But Heinz Ward's also a good comp, not because he just went to the Steelers, but also like how you said with the physicality and just the aggressiveness he plays with.
Exactly.
But he does need to be careful because down the line, when he becomes really good, people are gonna start throwing that word diva it's gonna be annoying, and I don't think it's gonna be a proper representation of him because he's more like a dog mentality kind of guy, not a diva. But that word does get thrown with wide receivers a lot, who play like how he does with the pure aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So he just gotta deal with that eventually, but I don't think it's not gonna be too much of a deal.
I think honestly, the boys from Ohio State are going to be the ones that are going to be the divas.
Jackson Smith and Marvin Harrison Jr. and those guys?
No, I'm talking about Olave and Wilson. I think those are your divas. Because I wouldn't even. I
heard Olave speak. I really can't even tell you what Olave's voice sounds like.
Wait, like you've heard him speak before? Or like you really can't just tell me?
No, I've never. Like he doesn't talk.
I'm sure he talks. He's done an interview somewhere.
Like he's done an interview, but you mean like what I mean? Like in a game, he doesn't. Like how Claypool behaves.
Oh yeah, no, that's how Edelman was. Edelman didn't really talk.
So I was like when you think of divas, it's kind of hard to like. They call Mike Thomas a diva. They called Antonio a diva. Well.
If you want to think about a diva wide receiver is a guy like Antonio Brown, Chad Johnson, and Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, a lot of people might get sensitive at the fact that, you can't call Terrell Owens a diva, but
he was.
Exactly.
T.O. was.
Oh yeah, T.O. was too. Chad Johnson, definitely big diva. He still is one. Got love for him, but Chad Johnson definitely still a diva.
I mean, when you call yourself Ocho Cinco, yeah.
And then when you make yourself a Pro Football Hall of Fame jacket, yeah, you're definitely a diva. So yeah.
I don't know how we started this conversation of divas, but it's kind of funny. Before we do move on, I'm kind of upset we won't get to see Jameis this week because I kind of wanted to see him work with the wide receivers in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe week 3 will be their dress rehearsal.
Maybe.
And also, I want to say this: Ian Book should be cut by the end of next week, end of this week. He's god awful. Moving on to college football.
I mean, look, I think I saw enough of Ian Book when he played against Miami.
I saw enough of Ian Book when he just got destroyed by Alabama.
Yeah, that too. I kind of figured, but I think I don't know.
Clemson.
He had the scar on his face, so everybody thought he was like the second coming of Drew Brees. I'm sorry, was that too offensive?
No, it's not offensive. I'm laughing at it because it's funny.
But also, say college football returns next weekend. Woo! It's big. And something.
Tell me when NCAA 24 comes out.
Oh, you won't hear from me for 24 hours when that comes out. You won't hear from me.
I'll get an APB. I'll have to send a man to check your house, make sure he's still alive.
Dude, I would probably be sitting. I'll be sitting right here in the dark, probably playing it. Honestly, that's probably the only thing that would like steal my attention right now. It's the only thing. But something interesting happened actually. So the point spread for a week 0 game, Vandy and Hawaii came out. So Vandy and Hawaii next week. Hawaii's favored. No, my bad. Vandy's favored by 7.5 over Hawaii. Some people want to say, is this really an upset if it happens?
Not me. Week 1, are there really upsets? Or week 0, I should say. Sorry, not week 1, but when you think about it, are there really a sense of the word upset before anybody's actually played a game and have film on that team for that year?
Why'd you do that face? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do it?
No, I was already in the works of putting it up before you said that. But yeah, so it's like it's more like college basketball. The word upset only applies for like the first game of something in March Madness. That is when upset applies. For the first week of that event going on. But like for a college football season, they don't have the sense of an upset before they actually play. What you got in either team.
I say this. I still think it's an upset because if you look back to the 2007 season, that was like in the week 1 of the 2007 season, we saw Appalachian State go into the Big House and take down Michigan. And that kind of started Michigan's dry spout up until when they finally got to the playoff under oh my gosh, Jim Harbaugh. So that's why I consider it. Hawaii was 6-7 last year.
So bowl eligible.
Yes, they were bowl eligible. They went 3-5 in their conference. Vanderbilt last year, if you want to be specific, if we're going to look at this, Vanderbilt a year ago, as I find it, keep talking, Ace.
Okay, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt 1 year ago was 2-10. They didn't win a single game.
Okay, so when Kansas played, was it Texas? What was it, Texas, or which one did they play and they beat them last year?
It was Kansas beating Texas, but I don't think that was last year. I think that was a few years ago.
Oh, Kansas upsetted in the actual sense of an upset last year. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was TCU. I'm not entirely sure who it was they beat. I gotta go back and check that. But yeah, so Vandy beating Hawaii. I mean, a 2-10 team beating a 6-7 team. I mean, if you want to call it an upset, oh my God, it's two powerhouses. Oh, one powerhouse losing to a no name. No offense to Appalachian State, you're not a no name. You actually have some good. You're a good program. But you know what I mean? Like it's two like second, third tier programs. I mean, do you qualify that as a true upset?
I wouldn't qualify this as a true upset, but I would say it's a new low for Vanderbilt. But then again, what is a new low for Vanderbilt? Because they lost to East Tennessee State last year. So I see the point of the argument.
So they lost to TCU, but they beat Texas last year, so I wasn't going crazy.
Okay, so they did.
Oh, they lost to Kansas State and they beat Texas. They beat Texas 57-56.
It's actually pretty sad that beating Texas is a bigger deal than beating your rival. It's pretty sad, but it is what it is. Another thing that happened too, Mike Gundy came out and spoke about. I can't see it because you're big. You're green.
I know. I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off. Give me a second. There we go.
That's pitiful. That's pitiful. The other thing that came out too was the Big 12 having lost its tradition, because what had happened was Mike Gundy came out and basically said, with the loss of Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC, this conference is going to lose its luster. And quite honestly, I say it already has. And I'm sure you would agree with me, because I think when Nebraska left,
I can answer this whole question before you even get the proper thought in order. So when we had Allison on last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked almost about every conference except the Big 12.
That's true, we did.
That's all I gotta say. We didn't even think much enough about Big 12, because you're like, okay, we got Baylor, you got Oklahoma State. Not really much. You got Brett Venables in his first year. In Oklahoma, you have Dylan Gabriel there, but I don't know why my camera's so crappy right now, but you can't expect much. You can't make much sense of what the hell the Big 12's got, even though they're bringing in a bunch of new teams in the coming years. But
it won't be the same. It'll be new and rejuvenated, but it won't be this. People will always remember the classic, like the Oklahoma Nebraska rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma being a Big 12 game, things like that. Texas and Texas A&M on Thanksgiving night, whether it was in College Station or whether it was in Austin, it's things like that. And then even to the question now is what's going to happen with Oklahoma State in Oklahoma at the end of the season. Hopefully it's still played on Thanksgiving weekend and everything like how Florida State and Florida is. But man, the tradition is gone. The tradition, truthfully, is gone.
It's a new era.
It is a new era. And it's like what Allison was telling me, in a few years,
What's going to change.
It is, and the traditional games that we're so used to seeing may not be here anymore. So we need to cherish what we have. Yeah, we're going to super conference, so we need to cherish what we have now and appreciate it, because it's gonna look. We don't know what it's gonna look like in 5 years. We really don't.
Especially with Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be leaving the Big 12. You got Cincinnati and UCF going there.
And Houston.
No offense. I'm not dissing Houston. I was just doing a 2-for-2 kind of.
And BYU.
I know what you're talking about, the Mormons.
He said the Mormons. What's wrong with you? But
I'm just messing. No, and BYU's got a good program. I'm just messing with them.
They do. They really do. But yeah, man, I'm curious how it's gonna go. Quite honestly. The other thing that happened too was this. I don't know if you saw this.
Every year they somehow make the top 10, and every year when they actually play a legit team, they get blown out of the water.
I agree. They have to play Clemson this year.
Getting in because they're they have like a weak schedule, and then not like a weak schedule, but you know what I mean.
They get in because they're Notre Dame, and people
And I was
love
gonna get to the name.
exactly the name, the gold helmets, and all that stuff, touchdown Jesus and stuff. But they ain't worth. You let me stop.
That
Yeah,
that
I'm not.
spot. They're not worth the spot.
Exactly.
That is what you gotta say. Like,
I'll say it like this: they ain't worth a bucket of warm spit. That's what I'll say. And quite honestly, I root for the African American coaches, but honestly too, the fact and the fashion at which they lost to Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl was quite telling to me. That's all I'm going to say as far as that goes. Because honestly, this year it makes me less optimistic about what's to come for them, because they got to play Clemson, they got to play USC, and we don't know what USC is going to look like. They already checked in preseason number 14 after only winning 4 games last year. They got to play. Oh my goodness, my bad. Go ahead.
No, when you finish, I'm gonna say something about USC.
Oh well, yeah, and then they got to play Ohio State in the shoe. They may get exactly. They're going to lose their first game. They're going to lose. That Ohio State wide receiving core is going to eat them alive. Alive.
CJ Stroud.
He's going to carve them.
JSN's gonna have at least 2 touchdowns, probably 3. I will take the over on whatever JSN's prop bet is for touchdowns in that game. I would take the over.
And I believe Ohio State's already favored in that game.
That's not a surprise. Now, if Ohio State loses that game, I might say that's an upset. I'd consider that an upset if Ohio State lost that game.
I don't think Ohio State's going to lose that game. Not at all.
No, but I don't think they will. That's what I'd say.
I don't think they're going to lose that game. For one, Ohio State is a very pissed off team because of how they lost to the fashion at which they lost to Michigan, and then the fact that they had to settle for the Rose Bowl. By to most people, the Rose Bowl is the end all be all, but to them, that was a consolation prize. So.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost to Oregon. Oregon just destroyed their whole game plan earlier in the season. Was that week 4? I want to say they lost to Oregon.
It was like week 3, week 2, something like that.
It was early. It was in the first month of the year. I remember that. And
yeah,
they didn't have a game plan for that defense with the gaps, and they got beat. And then they had to play perfect the rest of the way, and then they didn't when they lost to Michigan. And then they had to go for the Rose Bowl, and they were like, how the hell we lost to Michigan? That's why they're going to be a pissed off team. But then a team that's going to have a marked target on their back is USC, because it's USC, the whole name, the brand, Southern California, and all that goodness. But if they win one big game, they're going to be in the top 5 no matter what happens the rest of the year, it feels like.
Of course. And it goes back to, Lincoln Riley coming in and stuff. I think the whole college football free agency is why they're getting all the love they're getting and everything. It's here we go again with USC. I mean, I think it's good that USC is going to be good again, but
that's the best wide receiver in college football, guys. Jordan Addison's so good.
Please tell me he's a transfer and that he's not a true freshman.
No, he's a transfer from Pitt. I think he's better than Boot and JNS. Or JSN, not JNS. What the hell?
Wow.
I mean, Keyshawn Boot and Jackson Smith should be the top 2, and then Addison. But, you can't get on Twitter and deal with those people with that.
Golly.
Oh, well. That's sometimes like college football. It's hard to deal with college football in this.
USC better be in that Pac-12 championship. I know that much for all the hype they're getting.
Anything less should be considered a disappointment. I don't want to say a failure, because it'll be like first year head coach. You got,
but it would be
a second year quarterback. But it's not a failure. It just be disappointing.
It would be a disappointment, because I honestly, with the amount of love that USC's been getting this offseason, I expect no less than Pac-12 championship appearance. or a potential Rose
And
Bowl.
considering the Pac-12 this year, yeah, they should.
Exactly. Anything less, disappointment. Not a failure, but disappointment. Because it's year one of Lincoln Riley, so it can't necessarily be a disappointment.
It can't be a failure.
Exactly.
To be honest, when Allison was talking about Mike Norvell, I was shocked to hear her say it's not a burning hot seat already. He still has some leeway.
That makes sense for him because you got to think about it. If you look back to 2020,
first year,
it was his first year, and he was restricted by COVID, and then he had to right the ship with all that and everything. So I understood. I gave him a grace period for that. Plus, he couldn't even be on campus to get his team prepared to play Miami, which is part of the reason why they got destroyed by Miami in that game. Thank God they didn't play Florida that year. So I think this year is technically truly year two. But and I don't think losing to LSU will be a big deal for them, but they can't lose to that Dunquest school, whatever their name is. They can't lose that. They need to be in the thick of the ACC title race too, in order for him to save his behind. Even if it means losing.
To be honest, I know even if it means losing thing, but it's like I want to see the defense not blow second halves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Dude, you're looking at
last year when I did the ACC preview with you, that was like one of my first videos I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had said I hope they don't blow second halves anymore. I hope they mature, and they kept blowing second halves.
I understand.
And that is the step I want to see Norvell's team take this year in the first 5 weeks. Don't blow any second halves.
And that's going to be very telling when they play LSU. Because if they're up on LSU at the half,
probably going to run out. I think LSU is going to run out fast.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. It's going to be a newly rejuvenated LSU team. I think that, I think this is going to be for the first time ever, I think this will be LSU's first victory over Florida State ever because LSU's never beaten Florida State, as hard as that is to believe. I know.
And this LSU team, I want to say they have a chip on their shoulder. I know Eli Ricks left for Alabama, right? But there was a picture, I think we had talked about this last year, and it was like 6 of the top players were either in a what's it called? They were either in a boot or they were on that cart, where you have your leg up on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like not a scooter, but it's like that. I don't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about?
Segway?
No. So it's like when you tear your Achilles or anything, right? You have to keep your leg up. So it's like in an L shape going back, and you have to keep your knee on that.
It's like a little scooter.
Yeah. And 6 of the top guys were in that last year. They had some real bad injury luck last year. I think this year is going to be a motivated team. And also, Eli Apple didn't help anything in the state of Louisiana with his whole commentary. That's what Jamar's been killing in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who's from New Orleans has a thing, and they're all gonna be motivated. So I think LSU's gonna run out fast on FSU week 0.
We shall see. And that's
my prediction for when we do predictions.
That's going to now take us to hot topics. So
First
we've
time
made
in forever.
I know, literally. So we finally made it to hot topics, and you know what that means. Oh my goodness, my bad. I expected that to not keep playing, but it's time for Ace to formally invite you all to come join us for fantasy football. So Ace, go ahead.
All right, guys. It's our favorite time of the year. I am the reigning defending champion of the League of Penalty Talk.
Oh,
and I'm inviting all of you. I'm not flattering myself. This is my runner-up is right here. We play week 1. Well, the schedule is probably going to change up after the draft. So all of you guys, the invite is, I believe he had put it up on Instagram. and he should have put it up on Twitter. Anyway, so yeah, when he put up the invite for you guys, DM us at Penalty Talk if you're interested when you watch it on Twitter or wherever. And let us know if you're interested because we have 5 spots, I believe, and you need to put it in before September. Oh, okay.
We actually filled in a couple of them, actually. We have, I know we filled in 1 today, actually, or 2 today. So I think we may have, maybe less than that, I want to say. But anyway, yeah, all definitely, right. Get in here.
We have not. Got to hit us up before September 2nd. I saw that is the date of the draft. So you guys hit us up. Let us know if you guys want to get in on the action. It's always fun. I know you got to be active though. If you're gonna join, you have to be active in it. Otherwise, you won't be welcome back for our next year. That is one strict policy I have when I do fantasy football. I don't like people who draft their team and then they don't do anything with it for the rest of the year. Because honestly, it's not fun at that point. Because it's just a 2-man race between me and JPeeps.
I mean, there was other people that were in the race.
Oh, yeah, there were other people doing stuff, but there was a bunch of teams that actually didn't change their lineup.
Oh, well, you got a point. My thing is, see, you know what? No, that's actually something we could talk about off camera. That's something we could talk about off camera. But also the NFL, I'm not the NFL, the NBA Christmas schedule came out. So the Warriors and the Grizzlies are going to meet on Christmas. So we get
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, we got to get the popcorn,
I'm really excited to see this now. We get Draymond and we get Ja Morant on the court at the same time on Christmas.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It really is. I'm really looking.
Lakers and Mavericks are playing together too, also on Christmas.
It makes sense. The Lakers are always on the late. There's literally 3 guarantees you can always count on during the sports calendar.
Cowboys on Thanksgiving, Lakers on Christmas.
Exactly. Cowboys and the Lions on Thanksgiving, the Lakers on Christmas. Those are 3 things you can always count on. Why? Cowboys have always done that. Lions have always done that. The Lakers, even when the Lakers were sorry they were on Christmas. That's how you know they're committed to being on Christmas.
And the Knicks. I'm pretty sure the Knicks are always on Christmas too.
The Knicks, yeah. The Knicks are too usually. But they're like the first game.
Yeah. They're not the prime time game, but they're generally one of the games, early games. But yeah. The NBA also not going to have any games on the November 8th? I think is Election Day.
Yeah, no games on Election Day.
November 8th.
The NBA will not hold games on Election Day. They want people to go out and go vote. And then also, the NBA and also retiring. The NBA has decided to, not retiring. Oh my gosh.
Mark or Paul, they're retiring the jersey for which Gasol is it?
The number 6.
Marc Gasol never played there. What am I talking about? Paul Gasol.
The number 6 will never be worn again across the league. So in wake of Bill Russell passing, the league has basically retired the number 6. The number 6 will never be worn again by anybody.
The NBA did with Bill Russell what the NHL did with Wayne Gretzky. Have you ever noticed there's never been a 99 in NHL?
I thought Wayne Gretzky wore 98.
Probably, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure 99 is the one that got retired.
Probably.
I got a big. I'm not gonna. You're making me go check this, but I'm 99% sure you wore 99.
It was 99. My bad. Yep, I had you overthinking it. Yeah, it was 99. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I've never seen anybody wear 99 in hockey.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. I think they're all wearing what's it called? The clove or whatever, the charm.
Okay.
With the 6 on it, with the number 6. Everybody's gonna have that on their jerseys this year, so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also the Lakers are retiring Paul Gasol's number 16.
Rightfully so. Paul Gasol was legit.
think it's
He was
the
legit.
date is gonna be March, somewhere in March. They're having it.
Okay. And also,
And
too,
the first game for the Magic and Pistons is the number 1 picks battling for the last 2 drafts.
oh,
Cade and
wow.
Paulo. I want to see
And-
Paulo versus DeJounte. That's the game you got to watch. Paulo versus DeJounte Murray. You saw that whole thing?
No, because I'm pretty sure not the Lions, geez. Pistons and the Lions, both disappointing. Yeah, the
Pistons
Lions
and Magic.
the Pistons
Detroit.
they put me to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. The Pistons put me to sleep, man. Also,
You're
too,
wrong on that.
something interesting happened today. Ken Riley took another step closer to Canton and the Pro Football Hall of Fame because he was named as one of the senior finalists to get into the Hall of Fame, actually. Because, yes, it's actually he joins Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko as, final step in the selection process. Both guys all three guys are basically another step closer to football immortality. And usually senior finalists are most of the time they're a lock to get in. So I think enough people have complained to get Ken Riley in, and I think it's about time he got in. So
yeah,
I think this year's the year. I definitely think this year's the year. Or not this year, but we'll find out Super Bowl Sunday that he hopefully got in.
and these NFL honors the day before the Super Bowl. They announced it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they don't do it like that anymore. I'm thinking back in the day, but yeah, the NFL honors.
Oh God, he's going back in the day. Oh, not. He said back in the day.
I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm not gonna do this with you.
I'm not doing it. I said it first. I'm not doing it.
But yeah, I think that the night before the Super Bowl, I think we'll hear Ken Riley finally get the call. I've honestly said multiple times, I think if there is 2 DBs you got to put in this class, it's Ken Riley and it's Rondé Barber.
You can agree with that.
And I think that's if you're going to hold anybody else out, you can as far as DBs goes. But those 2 are definitely the 2 that got to get in this year. The two of the best DBs in this class are those 2 guys. And both revolutionized the game.
Did Larry Fitzgerald play last year?
No, Larry Fitzgerald did not play last year. I think he's done.
I think he hasn't officially retired. I was trying to think about him. Like, did he qualify for a 2026 Hall of Fame or 27? He didn't play last year, but he also didn't officially retire. That's why I just asked that question.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
Check on that. But I mean, very interesting episode today because I came on very late. Peter had a whole little fiasco for me. Don't know why. I have to go finish the updates. I've never had it crash so bad. Like the whole thing went blue. But we made it work. Show must go on. JPeeps did an outstanding job holding down the fort.
I did all right. I could have done better. I guess I'm practicing for next Saturday. So I guess I know what I'm
doing. Reactions. The reaction videos. With me coming in the comments section to troll you.
I'm perfectly fine with that. You bring it on. But
no beef here.
I see now I got to clean up on. I see what I got to. It's been a long off season. I've been too comfortable, obviously, so I got to brush up my game a little bit. But folks, that's gonna do it for us. We hope you've enjoyed this video as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Ace, I'm gonna let you close it out since you was late getting here.
Okay, fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, people everywhere, thanks for watching another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast, episode 3, I want to say it was. We're going to have the first set of reaction videos coming next week when FAMU starts the regular season games. But yes, leave comments if you're watching the video later on. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. You know where to find this. Penalty Talk everywhere except Instagram where it's at Throw Flags. But yeah, that is going to do it for us tonight. Stay blessed, stay safe. See you out there.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I gotta find. I'm
God,
still
I
trying
timed
to.
that out perfect for you. You wanted
No,
to.
I tried, man. I tried.